Hello, welcome. My name is Renee Poindexter, and I am the chair of the SelfDesign Foundation, and we oversee the SelfDesign Graduate Institute. And today we are interviewing Doree Blake. She's a recent graduate with her master's degree from our program, and she is coming to us from Vancouver Island in British Columbia. So welcome, Doree. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, I would like you to tell us a little bit about your background, because you've been a lifelong learner. You love to learn. And, what was your journey up until the SelfDesign Graduate Institute that could give us some nuggets about your path?
I started out with a very physical journey. I was a child athlete. I was a coach. I was a fitness instructor at a very young age. And then I became a teacher in the public school system. I taught PE and music and all sorts of wonderful subjects. I also was a business person. I had a human resource consulting company, and I worked in soft HR, and I used intuition, and it was a wonderful experience. So my background is very diverse, and I love, as you said, learning. I love it. And I think I've earned a place to say that learning at this point for me, I got a pretty good sense of what I need as a learner after all these years. I need experiential dive-in learning experiences. So I look forward to those. That's the kind of life I like to live.
Okay, so how was it that you came across the SelfDesign Graduate Institute, and what made you decide to pursue a master's degree?
I was connected through my children who were homeschooling through self-design. I also did a year as a learning consultant, and that was wonderful too. So when the Graduate Institute was formed, I put my hat in to be part of the Alpha cohort.
Great. And how would you say the SelfDesign Graduate Institute compares to your other educational pursuits?
I love that question. And I can tell you that all the other learning experiences I've had to do with adding content to myself, learning material, mastering skills. SelfDesign Graduate Institute is something different. It actually has had me go inside, do self-inquiry. And yes, you're still dealing with content and material, but you're dealing with it within the context of who am I in this? That is a very powerful place from which to learn. And you can learn incredibly fast and make huge gains, which I feel I have. As far as clarity goes, I got really clear as to the types of things I love and my passions and where I want to serve. So it's no surprise I returned to my roots. And I am now creating a business where I work in the fitness industry. However, I'm working with people over the age of 50. I'm helping people to increase their quality of life. I'm working with cutting edge technologies that I just feel like who I am has been made ready for that through my experiences with the Graduate Institute.
It's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you've had quite a few peak experiences in the program because I've been watching you along the way over the past 3 years. And I was wondering if you could share with us one of your peak experiences that stands out that you'd like to share with everyone.
I'd love to. One of my directed studies was on letting go and the actual using a method of letting go. So what I mean by letting go is, I'll use the analogy, deeply to our core, we're all wonderful, decent, loving, sunny people. However, because we have egos, we're covered with clouds and negativity and unfortunate events and traumas. So the process of letting go is really a process of clearing away the clouds to reveal the sun underneath that is always shining. And I worked with a method created by Dr. David R. Hawkins, and it's featured in his book, Letting Go, A Pathway to Surrender. My directed study through SelfDesign, put me with a mentor, and the two of us dove right into this material and into our own experiences, worked together, and I ended up creating a blog as a result of it, where I wrote about the different types of experiences I was having. The blog has become very well read. I also learned how to create podcasts, so I had 25 podcasts to support the blog. Nearing the end of the directed study, actually after it had completed, the blog was starting to get such amazing readership that Alan Colmes from Fox News found me and wanted to interview me on this letting go process. And that interview is on my blog as well.
Okay, and by the way, how do people find your blog?
So to find my blog, it's learnlettinggo.com. Just those words all together.
So it seems like the SelfDesign Graduate Institute reinforced you becoming your highest and best self, and now you're being that in the world. That's beautiful. I'm just curious, what would you say to people who are looking at this video right now and they're thinking, well, I don't know, how do I know if the SelfDesign Graduate Institute is for me? What would you say to them to help them make the choice that's right?
I would say, have you heard of the Hero's Quest? Joseph Campbell refers to it. It is that deep inner inquiry where you dive into who you are and you answer deep questions about yourself, how you're meant to serve, what is my purpose in this life, how do I fit into the community at the highest level? And the SelfDesign Graduate Institute absolutely helps with that. It supports that. It is designed for that. And so that's what I would say. I'd say, are you ready? Do you have the courage to dive into yourself? Because that's what this is really about. It's not about adding more content to you. You're going to have fun with all that you learn. However, it always seems to come back to that authentic self. Who is that? And how is that authentic self meant to serve in the world, in the greater community?
Wow. Well, thank you, Doree. I know you have lots more to say. I thank you so much for your time today. And for those of you that are watching this, stay tuned to some other interviews so you can meet more people in our community. Thank you very much.